What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. All right, are we over it yet? Are we over the loss to the Eagles? I'm done with it. Good news, Dak has been cleared by the doctors to resume practice. That's great news. And in fact, shout out to Brother Ross, who pointed out something to me by sending me this clip of Hard Times at the Studio, which was the game last night. In this clip, I talked about we had 18 plays in the first half. 18 plays. You can't win football with 18 plays on offense in a half. It killed our defense. Let's be clear here, because people are like, well, so much for a great defense. Well, defensive players get tired too. And what's crazy is, if you look at the numbers, Eagles didn't do a whole lot more than we did. In fact, in some areas, they did less. They only rushed the ball 2 yards more than us. Jalen Hurts only had 19 yards running the football. The defense did their job. But when you give a team short field multiple times by takeaways, it's going to kill you. It's going to kill you. But regardless of the loss right now, if you told me after week one that the Dallas Cowboys were going to be 4-1 with Cooper Rush as our quarterback, I would have said, man, put down the crack pipe. I don't think anybody had any clue or any idea that this team would come around and play the way they did. Now understand this. You have teams like Green Bay with a great quarterback. Teams like the Rams with a great quarterback. Teams like the Chargers that don't have 4 wins in the season. What that says is we have a really good team. Okay? I'm not throwing shade on Cooper Rush. I'm not at all. But we're going to get Dak back. Those numbers and those turnovers are going to kind of disappear. We've got a running game again. We really do. We got over 100 yards yesterday, believe it or not. But here's the real question right now. As we look at the NFC, you have the Eagles 6-0. They got an easy schedule. They're going to flow through the season and stuff. Maybe be the number 1 seed. It's going to be hard to catch them now that we lost to them. And that's fine. But the question will be is, will they ever be tested? Will they ever be tested? And when they get to the playoffs, will they end up being the Green Bay Packers or the Tennessee Titans? Don't know. But the main thing is, first of all, is to get to the dance. But looking at us through the hardest part of our schedule, going 4-2, having not had our left tackle, having our quarterback gone for 5 games, having our tight end hurt multiple games, you start looking at this and saying, we got a chance. You've got only 2 other teams other than the Eagles that have a better record. The Giants, who you beat once, and the Minnesota Vikings. So you start questioning now and looking at the whole NFC. Tampa Bay's got issues. Tom Brady is definitely pissed. And they don't seem to be the same team without their coach, without their players, without Gronkowski and stuff. You look at Green Bay and say Green Bay is definitely missing Devontae Adams, Matthew Stafford, and his elbow are definitely slowing them down. Even with Jimmy G, they're up and down. There's opportunities out here. Now here's where you look at this and say, I know the Cowboys didn't go all in as far as free agents like other teams, like the Eagles did. And you can look at some teams that went hog happy on free agency, and you look and say, has Russell Wilson made the Denver Broncos better? Right now, it hasn't. You look and say, has getting Deshaun Watson made the Cleveland Browns better? Hasn't happened. Has getting Matty Ice helped the Colts? Hasn't happened. Has getting Carson Wentz helped the Washington Commanders? Hell no. But right now you look at this team and you say, our defense is good. Defense is good. I don't know that there's anybody out there that we can put on our defense to make it that much better than where we are if our offense is doing their stuff. But here's where the Cowboys, you start looking and saying, is there a trade option or somebody out there that we can get that can improve where we are? A la a Charles Haley or a Deion Sanders like we did back in the 90s. Because here's the thing. Places that worry me. One is left guard. If we had a good left guard, that offensive line would be great. I don't know that Jason Peters is the answer. Maybe if Tyron Smith is able to come back, and I don't know if he will or will not be, or how long he'll be able to hold up, maybe Tyron Smith goes back at tackle, and maybe you end up moving Tyler Smith back to guard, and that way you've got a strong left side. I don't know, but Connor McGovern is not the answer. He is not the answer. Not anywhere close. And Matt Fornick is not the answer. And Jason Peters is old. So that's one position that you have to look at and say, is it worthwhile for us to make a move on? So that way we say we can really secure the line and protect Dak Prescott too. Second place you look at right now is wide receiver. Do you think about a DJ Moore? They ended up trading Robbie Anderson for a 2024 6 and a 2025 7th rounder. I don't know what they want for DK Moore if he's even on the trading block. But do you look at it and say, the other area where we're kind of lacking or hurting right now is wide receiver. Love CeeDee Lamb, but CeeDee Lamb is not having a number one type season right now. And maybe part of that's because of the change of philosophy, because we've got Dak gone, because we've had to go ahead and say, hold on for 1 second. And maybe that's because with Cooper Rush, they're more worried about turning the ball over and saying, we can just be led by the defense and aren't trying to risk it. You're doing more high percentage plays. Yesterday, you go by the receptions that we had 8 receptions by wide receivers, 7 by tight ends, and 2 by running backs. So what that says is we're not getting the ball really down the field. And that may be a product of Cooper Rush. But it may also be that you need somebody else out there that's got a little bit better talent than what we have currently. And that maybe CD needs to be a number 2 and Michael Gallup needs to be a number 3 to ultimately be really as good as possible. And maybe this is a time where Jerry Jones should say, because he said, if I just had to write a check to get a Super Bowl, then I would. Well, here's the thing. You saw what getting Odell Beckham Jr. did for the Rams along with Von Miller. It was just enough to make sure they had a little extra to get there. And maybe the Cowboys doing a same thing right now with a great team that's right there. It'll be enough to get you over the hump. You would hate to be doing great things. Let's say we win 10, 11, 12 games. Maybe not win the division, but, say you're number 4 seed in the playoffs. The team's playing well, and you just don't have that one guy to get you over the hump. That's where you got to start looking at it, and maybe, just maybe, this is the time to go ahead and say, let's go all in on this season. I don't think the NFC is stockpiled. That's insurmountable at all. And I would love to see Jerry Jones get that Super Bowl before it's time to go out to pasture. All right, good people. Got me some chicken, to go with some cream spinach and a salad. And I will see you guys during our live stream tonight. Hopefully, we'll get a good game. But it's Denver. I'll see you guys later. Peace.